Hello friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joycey Joy and today we will be discussing about the Citizenship Amendment Bill of 2019. So as we know, this is a much debated bill which has been already presented in the Parliament in the Lok Sabha, and Lok Sabha has passed the bill. So Citizenship Amendment Bill or the CAB. So we will be discussing about this in detail in this lecture. Again, I am telling you this is a topic that is very important for your civil services examination, and here what we'll be doing is to going into the perspective of a UPSC aspirant. So we will not be discussing about the political aspect of it, but rather we will be looking into the facts and figures that are important for your examination perspective. So let us begin with the current affair. Let us see what is the current affair. So the government has introduced the Citizenship Amendment Bill known as the CAB. So CAB has been introduced in the Parliament and Lok Sabha has already passed the CAB. So this is the current affair. Now let us come to the objectives of this bill. So first one, the bill proposes to make it easier for certain categories of migrants to become eligible for Indian citizenship. So certain classes of migrants, they will become eligible for Indian citizenship according to this bill. So these are the minorities from the countries like Afghanistan, Pakistan and Bangladesh. So minorities in these countries, they will become eligible for Indian citizenship according to this bill. And in this revised version of the CAB, Citizenship Amendment Bill, the centre has exempted certain exempted certain areas of northeast. So this is because the bill is facing protest in certain areas in northeast. So in this revised version of the CAB, the government has exempted certain areas in the northeast in order to avoid protest and violence among the people. And when coming into the exemptions, the government has given, so it has exempted the whole of Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland and Mizoram. So these three states, they are completely exempted, and certain parts of Meghalaya, Assam and Tripura. So partially certain parts or certain areas in these states are exempted, whereas the whole state of Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland and Mizoram, they are exempted. Now the seventh state, that is the seventh northeast state, that is the state of Manipur. The full state of Manipur is under the ambit of the Citizenship Amendment Bill. So this is about the exemptions in the bill, very important. Now let us see why the three states are completely exempted. So these three states, which are the states? One is Arunachal Pradesh, now again Nagaland and Mizoram. Why are these three states completely exempted? What are the reasons for that? So the reason is that the bill states that nothing in this section apply to tribal areas of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram or Tripura. So these are ATMM states. So this is the short form for UPSC aspirants. So this states, they are included in the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. So these four states. So this Citizenship Amendment Bill states that nothing in this section shall apply to the tribal areas of these four states, as they are included in the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Now, second one, it also exempts the areas covered under the interline. So, TIL, that is the interline. So, interline or ILP, that is inner permit line. So, the inner permit line or the inner line, it's notified under the Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation of 1873. And the ILP or the inner line permit, the system prevails in the states of Arunachal Pradesh, in Nagaland and in Mizoram. So that is why these three states are totally exempted. Now let us come to the system of ILP. Let us see how does the system of inner permit line works. So what is ILP? ILP is basically a special permit. So the special permit that citizens from other parts of India have to acquire, or it is required for those citizens from other part of the country from India, and this can be applied online or physically. So this inner permit line, to get access to these areas, the citizens from other part of the country will have to get a permission. So this special permit is called ILP or the inner line permit. Now what is this all about? So ILP or inner line permit, it specifies the date of travel. So the traveling date and the areas which the ILP holder can travel. So the travel dates and the travel areas will be specified here. and this was introduced in 1873. So when it was introduced in 1873, what was the objective? The objective of this inner line permit, it was to protect the Crown's own commercial interest by preventing British subjects from trading within these regions. So British subjects here means Indians. So this was to protect the interest of the British Crown, so that the Indians will not be able to trade in these areas. Now later in 1950, the Indian government replaced the British subjects to citizens of India. So earlier the term British subjects were used in order to recognize the Indians. So later in 1950, the term was replaced using citizens. So citizens of India. So in 1950, the reason that the government quoted was that in order to address the local concerns for protecting the interest of the local people, this ILP was again reintroduced, or it was maintained by the Indian government, and the term British subjects was replaced by Indian citizens. So this is about the ILP system, again very important for your examination. Now let us come to the meaning of exemption. So what does this exemption mean for the beneficiaries under the CAB, or the Citizenship Amendment Bill? Now when we talk about the ILP states, those states which has a inner line permit, so these states, there are already a large number of migrants from other Indian states who live and work there with long-term ILPs. So there are many migrants who come originally from India, from other states, who acquire long-term ILP. That is, they get a permission for a long time or a long period in order to work in this inner line permit areas. Now the question here is whether a person who becomes an Indian citizen through the CAB, the Citizenship Amendment Bill, can or cannot apply for such ILP, that is inner line permit, and work in such states like any other Indian citizen. So this is the biggest question here. Now secondly, also multiple restrictions and regulations exist on entry and also the stay of the outsiders. Outsiders in the sense Indian citizens from outside the state or from outside the area. So there are many restrictions and regulations on the entry and stay of the outsiders, outside Indians in areas under the ILP, in inner line permit system. And these existing rules, they are expected to put some restrictions on someone who has acquired the citizenship through CAB. But these exemptions, we have seen certain states have given exemption. So these exemption appear to imply that no immigrant non-citizen. So no immigrant non-citizen living in these areas can be regularized as an Indian citizen through the CAB. So this is the implication. Now let us come to the 6th schedule of Indian Constitution. Very important. So the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution is related to the special provisions given to 4 states in the country. These states are Assam, again Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. So these 4 states are given certain special provisions in relation to their administration, and this has been recorded in the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. Now according to the 6th schedule, it provides special powers to ADCs, that is the Autonomous District Councils. So Autonomous District Councils get enormous and special powers under the 6th schedule in these areas, and the ADCs, the Autonomous District Councils, they have the power to enact certain laws in areas under their jurisdiction on a variety of subjects. Now why? What is the reason or what is the objective? The objective is to ensure the development of these tribal areas and also boosting self-governance by the tribal communities. So 2 objectives. One is the development of these tribal areas. Second one is self-governance in these tribal areas. So with this 2 objectives, the Autonomous District Councils, according to the 6th schedule of Indian Constitution, it is given special powers. Now coming to those areas which are exempted under the CAB. So under the Citizenship Amendment Bill, we have seen that 3 states are completely exempted. So these states are Mizoram, again Meghalaya and Tripura. We have seen that 3 states are exempted from this Citizenship Amendment Bill. They are Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland and Mizoram. And states that are partially exempted are Meghalaya, Assam and Tripura. So Manipur, it is completely covered under the CAB, and among the 3 states that have areas protected under the schedule, so the Meghalaya, first one is Meghalaya. So the tribal majority in Meghalaya has 3 ADCs, that is the Autonomous District Councils, that cover partially the entire state except small part of Shillong. Now second one is Assam. So Assam also has 3 ADCs and Tripura has 1 ADC. Now let us come to the reason why Manipur is exempted. Now coming to Manipur, like Tripura, this was a princely state, and Tripura and Manipur, both of them joined the Indian Union in the year 1949. So Tripura and Manipur joined the Indian Union in 1949, and in 1985, only from 1985, the 6th schedule was implemented in the Tripura's tribal areas. So the 6th schedule got implemented in Tripura in 1985, and when Tripura was given the powers or the special provisions under the 6th schedule, the center had said that it will even consider Manipur, and the 6th schedule will be extended to Manipur as well. But it did not turn out as a reality. And Manipur state government, so the state government of Manipur had recommended 3 times to the central government to include Manipur also in the 6th schedule, but they did not do it. So this is the exemption story. So Manipur is not included. Now coming to Manipur's tribal areas, so let us see how it is. So Manipur has 2 geographically distinct areas, so they are geographically different. First one is the valley region. So the valley includes Imphal, and it constitutes roughly about 10% of the geographical area, whereas it holds around 60% of the total state's population. So the valley of Manipur, Imphal is included here, and it contains almost 10% of the total geographical area of Manipur, whereas accommodates 60% of Manipur's population. And these belong mostly to the dominant Meitei community. So they are the dominant community. So this valley region belongs to this dominant community. Now secondly, coming to the hill area, as we said, 10% is constituted by the valley region. So definitely 90% of the remaining land or the geographical area is covered by the hills. So they are home to almost 40% of the population in Manipur. And this includes a variety of tribes including Nagas, Kukis, etc. And while granting the statehood, it was so sure that problems could come up for the tribals, and therefore the Article 371C was introduced. So let us come to Article 371C. Now, what is Article 371C? It mentions about the special powers to Manipur. So this article, very important, it gives some special powers to the state of Manipur. So what are the special powers? The President of India, the President may provide for the constitution and function of a committee of Legislative Assembly of the state. Now about this committee, so the President can constitute and provide for the functioning of this committee of Legislative Assembly. So this committee, it comprises of members of the assembly elected from hilly areas of the state, and this committee's primary purpose, is to make modifications to the rules of business of the government and also in the rules of procedure in the Legislative Assembly. And also any special responsibility of the governor in order to secure the proper functioning of such committee. So this constitution of the special committee, so this power has been given under Article 371C of the Indian Constitution. Now let us see whether there are any other provisions for the state of Manipur. Now the Manipur Hills Areas District Council Act of 1971. So it is Manipur Hill Area District Council Act of 1971. So it was passed by the Parliament, and after passing of this act, it established 6 ADCs, that is Autonomous District Councils, in Manipur in 1972. But as we have seen, Manipur is not included in the 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution. So even though there are autonomous district councils in Manipur, they does not belong to the 6th schedule. So without the 6th schedule in place, these autonomous district councils, they have very less powers in comparison to the ADCs or the autonomous district councils in the states which has been included in the 6th schedule. So this is about the ADCs in Manipur. Also in the year 2018, the Manipur People Bill was passed by the Assembly, State Assembly of Manipur. So what is the purpose of this bill? Even though this bill has been passed, it has not got the assent of the President. So according to this bill, it proposes to several regulations on outsiders or non-Manipuri people in the state. So this Manipur People Bill, it aims at putting up certain restrictions for non-Manipuri people in the state. Now this is about the other provisions given to Manipur. Now coming to other northeastern states, in the month of November 2019, the Meghalaya Cabinet, it approved amendments to the Meghalaya Residents Safety and Securities Act of 2016. So this particular act that has been passed by the State Assembly in Meghalaya, this will lead to laws that require non-resident visitors to register themselves. So this is also to protect the state from external forces. So this mandatorily requires that other people from other states will have to register while entering the state. Now in Assam, there have been demands by certain sections for the introduction of a ILP regime, that is the inner line permit regime in Assam. So these are the conditions of various other northeastern states as well. So you can find the PDF of this lecture on our website www.studyiq.com. You can also follow my Facebook page for more video updates. You can write to me at joycey.studyiq@gmail.com for any of your queries and clarification. Thank you.